Hi, One Best PR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. Today is Monday, December 21st. This is our daily NBA rundown that we do with Mike Brenner. Mike Brenner, we've got 9 games on the card tonight. A few interesting situations, right? We've got the Knicks, who are suddenly winning. 4 in a row straight up, 5 in a row ATS. Is that a fluke? Is that for real? I don't know. They're a small favorite against Orlando. And then we've also got Houston. Have they turned a corner? Maybe, maybe not. Charlotte's been kind of shaky recently. 3 out of 4 they've lost straight up and against the spread. And, they're kind of maybe feeling the effects of not having Jefferson in. An interesting situation. Of course, Minnesota, as bad as they are at home against the spread, they're 10-3 against the spread on the road, and they're getting big points at Boston. Mike Brenner, do you have any picks for us today?
Well, I do. I have some picks, but nothing on what you spoke about. But yeah, it is interesting to see the Knicks putting things together, Pete, and I'm going to watch them closely. Read an article today. Aaron Affalo said, this team's really finding itself in the locker room, and they like where they're at. So we'll see if they continue. But
yeah, but we've also talked about how we kind of like Orlando in general. They're a well-coached team, and they're also 18-8-1 against the spread overall on the year. So it's a little bit tricky betting against them. But it might be for real what the Knicks are doing.
It might be, and Aaron Affalo's got a little bone to pick with Orlando. He used to play with them, so I think he might come out strong. But as far as a pick, I'm not going to put it out there. But I've got one. I got 2 picks, but one of them you're really going to like because you love this kind of drama in the locker room. I like the Bulls on the first half tonight. It opened at 5.5 on the first half. It's now at -6.5. Well, Jimmy Butler went on another tirade. At this time, he went on it on the coach, Fred Hoiberg, told him he's too laid back. You got to start getting in people's faces. And yeah, sure enough. So I think that might ignite the players enough to come out tonight. And obviously, Gasol's had a day off from that 4 overtime game a couple nights ago. So I think they're going to be fresh, and I think they got something to prove early on. So I really like the Bulls early against Brooklyn Nets. It's -6.5 on the first half, and that's my first play.
I don't know. I mean, when the players yell at each other, then I love it. When the players yell at the coach, I'm not sure what to make of that. It seems to me like, didn't we see the same thing with the George Karl incident with Sacramento? I'm not sure that's an automatic play on. I mean, that's not so great when the coaches are when the players are dissing the coaches. That sounds like turmoil. Are they going to come out and play hard for a coach that they don't necessarily think is doing the best job that he can?
But I think what he might do, though, and I mean this, Pete, I think he might have realized that he put his foot in his mouth and he needs to get out there and show something tonight. So that's the angle I'm leaning on. Plus, they're frustrated. They had that big overtime loss, and then they got their asses kicked against New York. So they got something to prove tonight. I like them early.
All right. Brooklyn's also kind of in a frustrated spot, though. They had a big loss last night, and, they talked about how they had no energy, and now they might be a big bounce-back spot for Brooklyn as well. Sometimes we see this when a team comes out flat on the first night of a back-to-back, and then they come back the next day with another game. Then they come back with a tougher effort immediately the next day, and they're not necessarily tired or spent.
Yeah, and I agree to that. Totally, 100%. But what I do know is Joe Johnson's one of the most overpaid, underachieving athletes I've ever seen. This guy, he's stealing money. Someone ought to arrest him tonight for stealing. I really mean that.
All right. Well, we've talked this game into the ground. Mike Brenner, you have a second pick tonight?
Yes, I do. I love it. I like Oklahoma City as a road favorite. -1.5. I got it at 5 dimes, -1.5 on the full game. I just think the Clippers are still just reeling. Not reeling, but they're just not finding consistency. And I think Oklahoma City is the exact opposite. They're really starting to gel. They're putting things together, and they're going to go out there and get this victory. I wouldn't be surprised if they win by 8 points or more.
All right, yeah, I am seeing 2 market wide, but 1.5 at 5 dimes. So absolutely, we can give you that. Mike Brenner, awesome insights as always. We'll talk again tomorrow for the Tuesday card.
Hey, wait a minute. Wait, Pete, I'm not letting you off that easy. What
I
about
have no
you?
Picks. I have no picks. I'll probably have some bets right before tip-off, but I have nothing. I mean, if I had to lean towards something right now, I guess I'd be leaning New York or Houston or maybe both, but I certainly haven't bet either of those yet. But, I may closer to tip-off, but I definitely have no picks as of yet, for sure.
Okay. Well, Pete, happy holidays to you. I mean that. I'm looking forward to getting back in the studio when I get back January 2nd.
You too, Mike. Thanks so much.